To Cannon Fodder TV. This is the big Sunday show, and I'm joined by 4 other Gooners. And yeah, it's quite nice to have some backup this time around. So yeah, we've got Des, John the Geezer, Liam, and Richard. Introductions. Des, how you getting on?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm over the moon today. What a game. So I'm in a really good mood for tonight. I'm going to enjoy this little chat. Loads of opinions. Some will agree, some we won't, but we'll have a good discussion here. I think it's going to be good.
No, good. And John the Gooner, the Geezer.
Thanks for inviting us on again. Great to see you. Great Gooners on here. And yeah, like Des says, 3-0 result, mate.
You getting on all right, though? Everything good?
Am I getting on? Yeah, sweet, mate.
Yeah, all good,
Larry.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm glad the football's back on, to be honest.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get back. I think it was a good send off, wasn't it, as well? Also for the Queen.
Just, they showed a few teams how you're meant to do it, you know.
Yeah, no, really good. And Liam, how you getting on, mate? How's the little one?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, he's all good. Soccer league, everything's good at the moment, isn't it?
All rosy. And Richard, last but not least, how you getting on? All right, finished work?
Yeah, a bit knackered. Everyone on the dog decided to come shopping today. Right up to about 5 to 4, and we locked up. Shut the doors early because it was so. They got home just in time.
Every shop's bare.
So, all raring to go. I did listen to it on the. Yeah, I listened to them through Sky on home while I was working. So.
That's good.
But it was good. It seemed a good match from what I was listening to.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but we'll
I had it on, but I was just listening to it.
No, good. So yeah, no. So the game. How comfortable was that game? In all honesty, it was like an Arsenal performance like no other Arsenal performance.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say. Do you know what it was, Paul? I'll be honest. I'll sum it up with one word: domination.
Yeah.
It was legitimately domination by the whole team. No one put a foot wrong today. Everybody played their part. Everybody did their thing, and that's why we won. We shut down players that we thought would be threats. So Tony was. It was as if he wasn't even on the pitch.
Yeah.
Tony, who?
Exactly. Yeah.
I looked at it and I thought it was just pleasing just to see kind of how controlled we were. Certainly playing away from home in a fixture that there was probably a lot of pressure on them as well from last season, and there'd have been a lot of demons and a lot of wrongs to right from that game at the start of the season, and how they handled it, how they started the game. They got involved. They controlled the ball, and it was all over the park. It was from the back line through into the attack. Jesus had a quiet start, but that was mainly because of I thought the 3 defenders at the back. That was kind of causing him to kind of drift out and kind of get a little bit of space to get on the ball. But after that, it was just we saw hunger. From when we didn't have the football, we were winning second balls. It was just not just nice to see the whole kind of keeping the ball, building it, and carrying on, and just not just pushing it. And it was just nice just to see Arsenal without sitting on the edge of your seat, squeaky bum, kind of even at 2-0 or 1-0, and just like literally think, so we're gonna give away something here. But it was no real time. Through that game, I was ever in any trouble of hiding behind the sofa. What was your thoughts, Liam?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty comfortable. Well, it wasn't pretty comfortable. Like you said, it was domination. It's as good as an away performance I've seen for
I can't even remember. It was that dominating. And I think that was probably why I was so frustrated with the Man United game, that we pretty much dominated them in possession as well in the Manchester United game, and we left ourselves just open. Well, got a bit naive, didn't we? But today, we won every duel. As you said, Des, there was not a player that put a foot wrong out there, and it is as comprehensive as it comes. If you had said we'd won 5-6-0 today, or did we deserve to win 5-6-0? Yeah, we did. Like Ray had pulled off about 3-4 great saves during that game, and honestly, I'm really excited by this team. Like we know that we need a couple more players, definitely, especially I think around centre midfield. But you look at VIEIRA coming today. Like how can you not be excited by this guy? Like first Premier League game, it's a 25-yarder off the post and in. Like just brilliant, and it's going to be exciting moving forward, isn't it? Like I'd love to see that at some point, but I think we're going to have to get the balance right. Potentially having Odegaard and VIEIRA in the same team.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's nice. It's going to be a nice conundrum once everyone's fit. I think that's what we want. I think that's what Arteta's wanted at the end of the day, and you're seeing the fruits of it all now. That in the end of the day, you're looking at it now, and you're suddenly saying, well, we'll go into right at the start in a minute, but you're seeing that kind of the fruit of the plan. What's been happening over the last 18 months coming in, and it isn't going to be 100%. Certainly squad size over one season, because this is now his first season, I would say, once that squad has been kind of trimmed total of all that fat and all the stuff, all the guff that's been sitting around, that everyone has gone. And so now this is fully his squad. Now you're looking at, he's got a striker, he's now got his other little players that have come in through the summer, and we now look at what he then brings in, maybe say in January, just to supplement what we've kind of got. And if we stay clear of injuries, then it'll be nice. It'll be nice to see. But yeah, John, you were kind of, you kept abreast of it whilst you're at the in-laws.
Yeah, the in-laws and Tesco's. Like, it was a riot down there, wasn't it? Like Richard was saying. I don't know if Richard works, but it was crazy. But no, I was watching it on a stream, and I've got home and watched the highlights. I see the goals, so I can't comment on the whole game. But what I see, the goals were all excellent, all three really good goals. And I think my highlight for the day was that young lad getting a chance to come on. What's his name? Ethan, 15. I was watching the Hal End thing this morning, the first time I've had a chance to watch it. And I think that young kid was on it. And, you know, they are literally young kids, what you see over the park. He's 15. I think Tuesday he's back at school. And, you know, it must be such an honour for him and his family. And Harry must have been feeling his nerves and something. But the little time he come on, he looked the part, you know. He weren't ruffled at all, was he? You know. But I thought it was going to be a hard game. But looks of it, it was a cruise, weren't it? A walk in the water for Arsenal. And fair play to them. That week off the Europa Thursday probably worked in their favour. I didn't expect Partey to be playing. I thought he was still injured, and he is one of my favourites, Partey. When he's on, I think he makes a hell of a difference. But yeah. All things are looking good. We've got a nice break now. Is it a 2-week break? I ain't sure. But we've got the international break. When we come back, we'll be fresh again. Hopefully, no injuries. And I think we've got an hard sort of build up to the World Cup, haven't we?
We take the London KFC on after the international break, don't we? Do you know what I mean?
KFC, yeah. I heard another lot call them Nando's FC the other day. I was like, who's this Nando's? It clicks, yeah, KFC, Nando's.
Because they're a load of chickens, geezer, that's why.
yeah, that's putting it lightly, isn't it? But we're top of the league. They ain't taking that away from us. We're there for a little while.
Nah, that's good. And Richard, about you? What was your thoughts once you heard?
Yeah, well, what I was listening to, I mean, disappointed with Sky. Half a dozen times they said Brentford were poor. I don't think Brentford were poor. I just think we stifled them and stifled the life out of them. We controlled the game. We got the first goal. We didn't go gung ho. It was patient. We got that second. And to be honest, you probably the only disappointing thing was the fact that it wasn't 5 or 6. But I put a thing up in the Fodder Crew group earlier in the day from an analysis of the Brentford game last year and the United game, where we were dominant, and in both those games the goals came again, and it was our efficiency that cost us both those games last year and against United this year. So it was nice to see we were efficient. And to touch upon what John said about the young schoolboy Ethan Nwaneri, I read an article earlier on today before the match, and he was before he even knew he was playing, and they've actually got him a scholarship to sign. He signs it next. It comes into force next year. It's already signed, but it because of his age, it can't be enacted until next year. But they've already tied him down to his first scholarship deal.
Yeah, no, I think it's.
And I think we got some. It was a good.
Talking about signing things, guys. Saliba signed the contract. Do you know what I mean? Because if we lose this lad, we're in trouble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
he's enjoying himself though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think with the fans and the song and everything around it, surely that's got to push it very much to sign that contract. I'll be very surprised.
I hope so, Liam. I hope so.
I think he will sign it. I think, do you know what? I've said it all along. I think we've done the right thing by that lad. Apart from the first 6 months, I think the first 6 months we got it wrong. But after that, I think we've done everything right for him. I think that Marseille move was superb, mate. And look at him, he's just so comfortable on the ball today. He's a Rolls Royce, isn't he? He's a Rolls Royce.
Look at Tavares now. He's doing the same sort of thing, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? But just one thing I wanted to say, like today, you're talking about the strength of the team and that, right? Gabriel had a bit of a knock in the warm-up, and he had a bit of a problem in the game. And do you know what I really liked is we could bring Tomiyasu on, right? And then Ben White would have just gone straight in the middle with Gabriel.
Yeah.
That is forward planning for the team. And I love that, right? Because, you know, when you see a defender go down like that, usually it's, who's going to... I mean, remember we had Mari as an example. I'm not dissing these players, by the way, but we had Mari and we had Louise last season. If Louise had come on for Gabriel or Mari had come on for Gabriel, we'd have been going, head in hands, you know. But today we knew that if Gabriel needed to go off, Tomiyasu would have come on the right and Ben would have just stepped into the middle. And that's reassurance. And it's reassurance for the fans as well.
Well, it's incredible now, isn't it? Like, I know Zinchenko's unfit, but like you say, you potentially got Tomiyasu and Tierney sitting on a bench. And like last year, when they were fit, we was well happy with them too. So that just shows you where we are to where we were last year.
I mean, can I just expand on that, Paul? Sorry for one more second. Yeah. Right? What I've noticed about Arsenal lately, is we lose a goal, we try and get straight back down the other end of the score. We've done it twice, yeah? But what we are very, very the same in the Man City way of play. And the only way I can explain that is that Man City, right, score a goal, but then they go, right, let's score one more. Let's score one more. And Arsenal, we're not quite there yet, but we're getting in that mould where we've scored a goal. Come on, let's score one more. I don't care that we've scored 4. Let's score one more. And if we can keep that mentality and the strength that this core of players have, we could get like that, and we could challenge for titles, and we can challenge for cups. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's just the mentality of being elite, though, isn't it? That's one of those where you suddenly see, you are pushing for goals and you're always dominant, you're always wanting more, and I think that's that kind of mentality that I think we've struggled with for a long time.
I would agree.
As a group, and once you get that kind of winning mentality and that kind of you've got to keep going and going and going. That's the difference. And you look at Zinchenko and Jesus coming in. It's given that kind of bit more of a belief. They've been there, done it, and they're only going to help and be infectious in the way they want to play. And they've got and they've seen and done it, so they want to do it. So let's go back to probably about 11 o'clock when the team was announced. Obviously, there were rumours earlier on about Odegaard being missing and not travelling. But what did you make of the team when it was announced? I know it's pretty. It still pretty much picks itself, doesn't it? But we didn't know if Partey was going to be fully fit. We didn't know, we knew he was back training, but Odegaard was a miss, and it was one of those where is that maybe too much? And I saw a few people tweeting about him being out and how are we going to cope and everything like that. But what did you think, Des, about the starting lineup?
The starting lineup, very strong starting lineup. I was happy with it. I thought, we could play some good football today. That was my initial thought. And then when you think about it, personally for me, I would have given Saka a rest. I would have played Marquinhos right from the kickoff. Plus, I think for Marquinhos, just to give him that bit of Premiership experience. I mean, I know he was on against Zurich, but just to let him have that feel of the crowd, that sort of game, if you like, the tempo, the pressure, however you want to break it down. I would have played Marquinhos instead of Saka, just to give Saka a rest, because Saka needs a rest. He played well today. I'm not going to say he didn't. He could have had 2 goals. But for me, the boy needs a rest, and I think he's mentally tired and he's possibly physically tired, and he just needs a bit of a break. But very happy with the lineup. I can't actually criticise it in any way, shape or form. Now, I must admit, I do have concerns with Anthea Turner, the other goalkeeper, but he wasn't. He's not in the team. But if Rambo's ever injured, there's Runnison feelings for me regarding Anthea Turner, and he scares me a little bit.
Tina Turner.
Hey?
Alex calls him Tina Turner.
Well, Tina Turner as well. You know what I mean? He, to be honest, he just concerns me a bit. But no, I'm happy because if you think about it as well, Paul, mate, if Tierney's out, you've got Zinchenko. I mean, I know Zinchenko's injured at the moment, but if you're breaking it from making the team, if Tierney's out, you've got Zinchenko, right? If Partey's out, you could actually, like someone suggested before, you could play Odegaard and Vieira. Do you know what I mean? We have Arsenal for once have got so many options on the pitch. It's refreshing. So we're going back to today's lineup. The only change I would have made, and I said it on Friday on the Easy Talk when I was on there, I'd have played Marquinhos for Saka.
Okay, John, what about you? Any changes, or did it really pick itself?
Well, no, looking at that squad, there was a few players I weren't expecting to, like Partey and Tierney. I weren't too sure if they was going to be playing. But like I said, Partey's a favourite of mine. I always like him in. Problem is, he's another that ain't consistent. Injuries all the time, innit? I thought he was still out, but there you go. What do I know? But I think he's comfortable on the ball. His presence just helps the other players. But all that team that was put out there, they're all ball players. They're all comfortable on the ball. They all know their game. They know exactly what to do. My problem, I was thinking Brentford might get stuck into them a bit, rough them up. But that didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? They were just what I've seen, they were just too good for Brentford, and we're scoring from all over the place, which is good because I don't like to rely on Jesus. You know what I mean? He's more than just a striker, Jesus, and there was all good goals. Saliba's, Jesus, Vieira, they're all top draw goals. You know what I mean? You can't knock them. I did think maybe we was a bit weak with the subs, but you get so many subs nowadays, didn't you? 5. You can pick and choose. I was looking, we've only got Eddie as a striker, but you know, we didn't even need him really, did we? To be honest. And yeah, there's not. They put that team out. They should be able to give every team in the Premiership a good run for their money. No problem. It's I think consistency has been Arsenal's problem. They need to keep a consistent 11. This international break now has done us a bit of a favour. And personally, I was quite glad Ben White didn't get picked for England, being selfish. I wish that can never, because I guarantee he'd go and play and get injured for him. Like Des says, he desperately needs to rest that young fella from this season and last season. He ain't a lot older than that kid that's just played, is he? 15-year-old. He's only 21. And you think back to when we were that age, well, you probably still are, Paul, but you are. You're very young. You are, though, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're very young. You need a bit of assistance, man. You don't know when you're going to burn out, and these players can burn out quite badly. I think Rooney had it quite bad at one time because he started off at 16, didn't he, playing? And he was overplayed. No, you know, Arsenal put their top 11 out. They'll give all the best teams a good run for their money. No reason they can't beat any of them, but consistency is the key.
No, cool. Liam, anything to add on the lineup?
Nah, not really. I think apart from Odegaard, I was excited to see Vieira. When I see the lineup, I think it was a good opportunity for him to play with the first 11 because it's totally different when like you're going out in the April Cup because it's a bit of a Mr. Match team, isn't it? And you can't really take too much out of them games sometimes because you're not playing with the first 11. And I think today, for him playing in the first 11, it was good to see him. And I think that was the highlight for me, was his goal and obviously him playing. But I think, as we said, the squad's getting bigger than it is last year. And I just think also, I think a key point that you may have hit earlier on about Jesus being quiet in the first 20 minutes. If that was Aubameyang or Lacazette being quiet in the first 20 minutes, I can tell you now, yeah, right, they ain't scoring for love or money in that game. Because that's what we got used to. You would know in the first 20 minutes whether Aubameyang was up for it. If he wasn't up for it, he weren't scoring. And Lacazette, well, he weren't scoring for love or money anyway. But first 20 minutes, Jesus was quiet. But then you see that bit of class. And I think if you go back to when you watched, obviously, the documentary where you got the coach talking to Lacazette about like quickly putting up his man, you see that with Jesus with the goal, with Xhaka's goal cross. World class cross that was, but it was the movement of him just obviously stepping back, giving himself a bit of room, and obviously burying it. And that's what a top striker is. That's what Ian Wright used to do all the time. He might not be in the game for 80 odd minutes, but you knew he'd get you a goal. And we've lost that over the last 2 seasons. We've massively lost that, and we've got that back. And if he was in our team last year, Champions League would have been wrapped up in April.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%. That cost us not having strikers after he was bad.
Yeah, bad massively. And that's a key difference. It's a key difference.
Yeah, no, that's it. Richard, you're the final one there. Anything in regards to the lineup, or?
It was to be expected once you knew Odegaard was out that Vieira would go in. Probably excited and a slight concern, would he play, because Odegaard does a lot of pressing. He's Arteta's man on the field, and everything, all Arteta's instructions and things go through him. So it was interesting to see what would happen to the team with him out. We've seen it in the Zurich game and today, but actually Vieira against the is probably a better fit for the team against teams that like to sit back and counter, because he will take those shots from outside the box, and that's what we lack with Odegaard in the team. It's all precise and trying to get it into that congested box, and against low block teams we've struggled. I was concerned about the bench, but considering we've got 5 players out, we've dominated the game and we've won it comfortably, and that bench doesn't look that bad, does it? I mean, I wasn't expecting sort of Ethan and Nwaneri coming on. I looked at it and thought you probably get Tommy Esso, the Conga on, and you probably get McKeenius and Ketcher. And if you were going to bring one of the youngsters on, I was looking at Smith, but maybe that tells you where Smith's future maybe doesn't lie with the club. If you're putting the 15-year-old on above him in a game like this, but I think it was a strong, long lineup.
Richard, don't you think that was just to make so Arsenal could make a bit of history?
No, I think Arteta doesn't care about history. He goes, if a player's impressed him in training and shown him in training, and he shows him on the pitch, he goes with him. I don't think he's a man for sentiment.
Tell you what's interesting about that. Tell you what's interesting. Players like Amari Hutchinson last year sat on that bench about 10, 15 times, didn't get a game. This guy, first game, he's given a few minutes. It's a big. I think it is a big moment for him. I do agree with Rich. I don't think Arteta does things out of sentiment, and I think he's done that for there's a reason behind why he's done that today.
No, I think you looked at it, and I remember watching the Arsenal Tottenham under-18s game, and that was a really good game to watch. And you saw him. I think he had either 1 or 2 assists and scored in that game, and. Yeah, he does look an interesting guy, and obviously, like last season, he's playing only obviously 14, and it's like, well, you know what I mean, you're still putting in these performances at that age, and you suddenly think it's unreal. But like I say, if you're good enough, you're going to get in, and you're going to get those chances. Don't matter your age, whatever.
Imagine being his father tonight.
Huh?
Imagine being his father tonight.
Oh, mate. Oh, hell yeah, yeah.
Unbelievably.
If you're old enough. You're old enough, you're good enough.
Paul, can I just say as well, just going back to the game for a second,
yes,
the turnaround from Arsenal from the Man United game, that's impressive as well.
Yeah,
we haven't let the Man United loss affect us. And
no,
before it would have done. You know what I mean? But no, not now. You strive to be better. And let's be honest, I know Alex said on Friday that they bullied us, and in a way they did, but they only beat us because they caught us twice on the counter. That's the only reason they beat us,
weren't we?
Say again?
At United, we were poor defensively, and it was our mistakes and those poor defensive choices that cost us that United game, and not being efficient in front of goal. I think if we'd had Partey there in that game, we probably would have won that.
Arsenal are stronger mentally at the moment. They've got a strong mindset. Do you know what I mean? They are up for winning every game.
And can I just say as well, just to help this conversation go on, it's all down to Xhaka.
I agree.
Thank you. Right, because
I was one of his fiercest opponents last season.
Same here.
I'm glad he got made captain today. I think he was the captain, weren't he? And yeah, he well deserved. I'd actually let him keep it now.
Right.
I think he could actually end up an Arsenal legend. No, he's gone full circle. Public enemy #1 to probably one of Arsenal fans' favourite players now.
Right, just quickly, let me say something right about Xhaka, right? I said on Friday, and everybody lost their heads. I basically said Xhaka is playing well this season, yeah? So forget all the other seasons. They're gone. They're history. They're in the books. This season, he's a different player. And today, that pass was pinpoint. It was a pinpoint pass for Jesus to go, oi, oi, son, have some of that. Yeah? The lad's attitude has changed, okay? He deserved the armband today, right? And I've got to say, for me, he was my man of the match. And I have been Xhaka's worst enemy for seasons. But everybody deserves a second chance. I've been given second chances by people, do you know what I mean? Because I've messed up in my life and things like that. Even recently, do you know what I mean? But I've been given... And do you know what? The only way that Xhaka can get retribution from us fans is to play like he's playing. And I'm not saying that he's going to be a legend. I'm not going to go as far as Giza, but he deserves a big up today. And I tell you now, if he can turn the fans round, right, and he can keep playing like he's playing, he is going to get the fans back on his side. But that's all I'm going to say about it, because I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you very much.
Doing it.
Yeah, you don't need to blow a trumpet on Xhaka when I'm around. You know, honestly, I've been championing him for a while, and I know we talk about his misdemeanors and his little bits that have happened. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, he does keep the team ticking no matter what, and it shows that the different managers that have come and gone have always trusted him and played him. But I've said from last season, he was playing well, and he was still one of probably our better players last season, and he's followed it up this season. And another one, this is what I was saying about earlier on, and we're talking about a buzzword, with Arsenal now is we're looking at upgrades. That's the new buzzword is that we need to get upgrades, and I question whether or not an upgrade to Xhaka at this moment, and I'm talking maybe say the next 18 months to 2 years, is he within the top 3 priorities of upgrades in our squad. And I think from the way he's playing that he's kind of made that choice for the manager, where you're suddenly thinking, I don't really need to worry too much. As long as he stays fit and he stays healthy and he keeps his head like he has been doing. And I admit, I think he's had a proper change in his mental side of things, and maybe just that kind of, he's almost grown up a little bit. And
yeah,
he's become more mature. And yeah, like I say, if he carries on playing, then it isn't a necessity to kind of upgrade him. And then there's a talk of like, oh yeah, but if we get a player in for say a couple of years on to grow into, it's not really an upgrade, is it? It's at the end of the day, the upgrade is to get something more and something better. But it is what it is. It's I think he's done fantastic, but and I think the first 2 minutes summed him up as well.
Yeah.
Remember the move that right at the start, and it was just like a lovely cross in, and it was just it was unlucky. It would have deserved the goal because it was just such a nice crisp pass and a move, and to say that goal would have capped off the game. But that whole game, I think, epitomised that kind of move, what we done at the start of the game. So yeah, that's my Xhaka moment. Yeah, love you, Xhaka.
I must admit, Paul, I had my come on getting ready for that cross, mate. I was like, oh.
Well, Liam, you're going to say something.
I think me and Paul had some bust ups over Xhaka last season. Like, I didn't have a good word to say. Didn't have a good word to say to Xhaka, but I'm telling you now, if Arsenal go on to win something, all right, maybe not a legend, but he'd be an Arsenal icon. He wears his heart on his sleeve, that boy. That's why we'll start backing him up. You want him in your trenches. The only thing he's still got that thing where you just don't know what he's going to do next. He's still there, you know what I mean? But that's part of his game.
All right, and Liam, you was going to say something, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you guys about Xhaka, something that I don't know that I thought about 2-3 years ago, and it's interesting that he's coming his own this year. do you think like around with the rest of the players around at the time, players like you got the Aubameyang, Lacazette, they were a bit of a clique, weren't they? Obviously the Özil, Mustafi, and all that lot. I think because he's a very professional player, Xhaka, and I think he would have got frustrated with a lot that was going on in the background as well. And I'm just wondering, is him playing like he is now because we've kind of lost all them players and like the professionalism's back in that squad now, and there's players that want to play for the shirt and basically haven't got the egos like we potentially had over the last 2-3 years. Is this maybe a factor why Xhaka's playing much better now?
We all know certain players were taking damn right liberties, Liam, weren't they? They thought they were running the club. They thought they were bigger in the club. Without naming them, we all know they are. They've all gone. Others have gone on to bigger, better things, apparently, like Chelsea, you know. But, yeah, there was a clique there, weren't there, causing trouble, having a bad influence. That's one thing I give Arteta respect. He cleared them all out. I think they cost Emery his job, you know what I mean? They proper took the mickey out of him.
Liam, I'll say this. I think the number 8 position suits him. I think he likes playing as a number 8.
Oh, yeah, I fully agree. Like I'll be honest, yeah. I was one of them. Once he done what he did at Crystal Palace that day, I wanted him out of the club. I wanted him out of the club at the time.
Yeah, we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, fair respect to the guy. Like, if I did that, like, I don't think I could have come back from that. The guy's got a pair of gonads to do what he's did. But if you said to me a year ago, can Xhaka play in a number 8? I'd be like, no, he's not good enough to play in a number 8 for us. But what he's done is over probably the last 6 months, has proved a lot of people wrong, including myself. And I thought he was superb today. And that cross was as good as a cross you're likely to see this season. And he's loving that role. And the thing is with him as well, yeah, sometimes he has a bit of a loose moment, but who doesn't have a loose moment? And they plans like you're gonna have a loose moment. But he's so clever at winning free kicks. He's so good at getting himself in front of players. He's so good at breaking the play down as well and stopping the play when he needs to. He's a very, very intelligent player, what he does at times. And I think this season's been the best I've seen him play for the club. And do you know what? If he continues to play like that, then he deserves to be in the team. And I'll be honest, yeah, I watched Tielemans yesterday, and I wanted Tielemans. Like, he ain't nowhere near a Xhaka's level at the moment.
Cheers, Ange.
But
totally agree.
For me, Tielemans is not performing anywhere, and it might be because he don't want to be at Leicester, and there's a lot of issues at Leicester. But at the moment, if Tielemans come in the club, he wouldn't naturally dislodge a Xhaka at this point in moment of time.
A lot of people wanted Tielemans in their club and Zachariah. I didn't want him to sign that last contract. So shows you what I know. Arteta's behind the scenes, and Zach's his main man. They're good mates, you know what I mean? So he knows him inside out, and he's sorted his head out. And they can all play football. To get to that level, you can't be a mug, you know what I mean? You've got to know how to play football. But a lot of it's to do with what's up here as well. And he's got them boys firing on all cylinders, you know what I mean? No stupidness going on now.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Right, we got a very busy chat room. Ivan Toney. We know he has had his first call up to England. And yeah, English Conversation Club question. Ivan Toney didn't get a look in. Are we surprised he didn't score? I'm surprised we kept a clean sheet, but that's on most games. I kind of I'm always a little bit dubious about us keeping a clean sheet. But yeah, anyone surprised he didn't score?
Yeah, I mean, I had the score. I had us down as 3-1 winners. I'm on the Big Six prediction league, and I had us down as 3-1. I didn't see us keeping a clean sheet just because of the threats that Brentford have posed most teams, and I think they've only lost 2 games at home out of the last 23, which tells you how strong they are at home. And big up Ivan Toney. there's a lot of our fans, and even me to a certain extent, he'd be an ideal option B for us. He holds the ball up. He's good in the air. He's strong, and he's got an eye for goal, and he deserves that England thing. But you got to say Saliba and Gabriel and the back line handled him really well today, and they nullified any real threats, and not at one stage did they really look threatening. I think in the commentary their first shot was on the 5th minute, and it was like your 65th or 70th minute before they got another shot on target. So that's how well we handled the game today.
Yeah. Liam, what did you think about him? Or
Sorry, say it again. You broke up, mate.
Were you worried about him?
Yeah, you got to be worried about him. He's a good player. I think I agree with what Richard said. He's not a player I'd turn my nose up if we was to bring another striker into the club, because I think he gives us a different dimension to our game, a different option. And I think they sold Ollie Watkins. They probably potentially then bought a player that potentially longer term is a better player. So I think he's a really good player. But what really impressed me today, it doesn't matter what Tony does if you dominate a game like that. Do you know what I mean? When you dominate the midfield like we dominated today, yeah, right. It's not whether if Tony's a threat, because we nullified them and stopped them from even getting the ball to him. Do you know what I mean? He caused absolute nothing whatsoever, and that was down to how dominating we was. And if we dominate games, we shouldn't have to worry about the opposition. And today was that kind of example. So I was surprised that I thought they would give us a bit more of a game in terms of what they've done to other teams. And let's be honest, they beat Man United 4-0. They beat Leeds 5-2. They've gone and scored goals this season, so they're a massive threat going forward. And we just made them look so poor today. And that weren't down to them as such. That was down to how good we was today. And I don't think I've ever said that before. So, yeah, no, I'm really happy. I was waiting for the Aaron Ramsdale kind of loose moment. That never come today. And it was just absolute domination. And, yeah, I can't remember, really, them having a great chance in the whole game.
There weren't none in the highlights, what I see.
I think there was one. Was it an Mwepo one which Ramsdale saved?
Yeah,
I think that was it.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, yeah.
Wasn't there a Jensen one where he had to go down to the floor and stop it with his legs?
Yeah, it might have been Jensen. I didn't know who the player was because I was...
I'll call you were listening to it.
I didn't say what I say from...
I forgot you were listening to it. I forgot. Yeah. Sorry, dude. Are you going to say something, Geezer, or can I say something?
No, go on. I didn't see you. Crack on.
Tony who?
Tony who?
Tony who? Who are you talking about? Does he play for us? Oh, no, he don't, does he? No, because he wasn't there. That's right. No, I'll tell you what it was, mate. I'll tell you what it was. The back four today were tight. Yeah? The back four were tight. A Sherman tank couldn't have broke through the back four today. Yeah? So Ivan Toney didn't have a chance. But I will say this. The lad's a talented player. Very talented player. But we did what Man United did to Jesus. We shut him down at every opportunity. And when they did get the ball forward, that it wasn't in a shot on goal opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And when Arsenal, what I noticed in the first half, I don't know if you guys noticed it as well. When Arsenal was attacking, there was always 8 players in their defence, in the box. And also, is it Henry, the lad on the wing? Whenever they were getting a corner, he was staying back. So they were 1 player less when they were attacking anyway. So, and what we did was we just shut him down, and he got frustrated. He was getting frustrated because he even tried to feign that he was injured. So he must have been frustrated. Now, we had a discussion about Tony on Friday night, and I'm going to ask you guys the same question, because I was asked if I would have, and so were the other guys, I was asked if I would have Tony at Arsenal, and I would as a B. But then, as Alex does, he throws a spanner in the works. He says, well, who would you rather have? And this is the question I'm asking you, lads. Would you rather have Tony or Malkovich? And in the end, I decided on Malkovich. What would you guys say?
Tony.
You'd have Tony, would you, Geezer? What about you, Paul?
I'd probably say Tony.
Okay.
Just for being in the Premier League.
Fair enough.
Oh,
right.
you're talking about Mitrovic, not Malkovich. He's
sorry, Mitrovic. Yeah.
Mitrovic. I thought you were talking about the film star.
Like John Malkovich. Yeah, I meant Mitrovic. Sorry, I'll get me Mitches and me Vitches muddled up. Sorry.
But
not son of a Rich, is it?
Geezer.
No,
all right then. Out the Fulham. Let's make it easy. Out the Fulham striker. I can't get his name right. And Tony, who would you have? You'd have Tony still, would you?
I think so, because I think he might be a bit more suited to our play, whereas Mitrovic is a bit more of a brute as such. I don't think he's got the best kind of link up that would kind of suit probably how we would probably want to play. Yeah, he could probably hold the ball up, but I don't think he's as dynamic as what potentially Tony could be. I think Tony's a bit more explosive. I don't know. If it was say we're going to sign one of them, I don't think I'd be disappointed with either of them. But the other side of the coin is, would any of them really want to come in as a B when they're playing week in, week out at their clubs? We talk about if the money's right.
As I said on Friday, mate, Fulham realistically cannot let him go, because it would be like self-imploding, wouldn't it? You know? And just to clarify something as well about Willian, I've heard that he's been on a run training course. So now he's actually running for Fulham, which is something he couldn't do for Arsenal. So, you know. But anyway, out of them two players, you would take Tony, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, okay. Fair enough. I just wondered what you guys felt, you know.
Is that instead of someone?
I told you it was instead of. Don't make me say it again.
You're saying, I know you're saying that
it's not Tony versus John Malkovich, no. All right.
No, I know that, but you're saying instead of Eddie.
No, I'm not saying that at all. No, if you could add either player to the team,
right.
Yeah, okay. Who would you take?
No, if that's the case, then I'll go for the other fella, Sonovic. I'll have him.
Okay. All right.
He's a goal scorer. I think Tony's too similar to Eddie.
Yeah, I think I'd probably have gone Tony, just because similar to Paul, but Mitrovic is you've got to play to Mitrovic's strengths, and I don't think the way Arteta plays is to Mitrovic's strengths. And we've seen in previous seasons when Fulham didn't play to his strengths, he wasn't prolific in the Premier League. This season, playing to his strengths, he is absolutely hot. But you have to play to those strengths. But they're not bad choices either way, are they? I mean, if you're looking at it.
No.
Yeah, I'd go Tony as well.
If we've got this younger guy even coming in, he's a forward, isn't it? So where does he fit in now? Is he just going to get a few minutes here and there to sort of blend in? Yeah,
no, I think he'll be, if everyone's back fit, he'll still be. He's an attacking midfielder. He's not. He's not actually a forward as such.
He's not a forward.
He's going to be a bench warmer, though, isn't he?
But he's going to be thereabouts playing. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of like first team exposure. I think he might have got this one just through covering bums on seats at this time. But yeah, I don't think you'll be seeing him too much this season. It's still massively early for him. Go and bed in on the under 23s, and Will he's seen a team, so he's probably flagged it up as well.
I've got the impression he was a forward.
Yeah, well, he's an attacking midfielder, potential number 10. But he does. He plays behind. Is it Walters? Is it who's a striker? He scored. He's been bagging in some goals as well for the under 18s. I think it's Walters.
Walters, isn't it? Yeah.
That's
all.
The striker behind him, but he's picking up deeper in midfield, and some of the balls he's playing is with the outside of his boots through the defence. Gets for Walters to finish off one of the goals, and he's a decent prospect.
And that's Charlie Patino, but he's on fire for Blackpool, isn't he? He's another fella.
Yeah, again, it's for his development, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's one of those where he's got to get some game time, but he's also got to toughen up a little bit as well and get a bit of meat on the on his bones and just get the game time in the man's world, and he will. So
I'll tell you what, this 15-year-old. He's a lump for 15, isn't he? When he's 20, is he going to be the size of Traore? Because he's huge for 15.
He don't look 15-year-old, does he?
He don't look
he looks about 17, 18 maybe. I know he isn't, but he looks it.
Do you guys remember playing when you was a kid, though? They'd always play against a team meant to be the same age, but there'd always be some other kids that looked about 20, didn't they? And you were 12. Do you remember that? Over the park. It meant to be the under 11s. You're looking up at them. You think, are you sure, mate? I think you're about 18, aren't you?
I was a defender, geezer, so I don't know. I just threw myself at people.
Guna Matters in the chat. Good evening, gentlemen. All the way from a dark Cape Town in SA.
Get in, Guna. Get in. Hi, Glenwyn. How you doing, brother?
Evening, mate. I take it everyone can hear me okay now?
Yeah.
Alex said, stuck in this, but that's all right.
The section of Lapland is stuck.
Alexa? It's interesting, isn't it? Look at that. Alexa, be quiet. I don't know what she said. Something about Lapland, but not that. That's impromptu there.
Alexa, what do you think of Tottenham?
I think they're very talented athletes.
Yeah.
There you
Which
go.
loads of football teams. For example,
Yes, Alexa.
sing a song about Arsenal or say something rude about Liverpool.
Set my one off now.
Say something rude about Liverpool's quite fun. That'd be quite
Right.
fun. We'll save that for another show. It's fine.
Isn't it?
So Glenn Wynn said, question to the panelists: Did we wait too late to make the switch for Partey since his first match since injury? What do you reckon? 78 minutes did he make? He done. I think that was all right. I think that's.
Yeah, I don't see why we have took him off any earlier. You need to make sure that the game's totally done. And we know in the Premier League, if they get one goal back, like a bit of pressure on. I think we waited to the right time, 78 minutes. I think by that point, he was pretty much relaxed that it was done. I think
what you found also with that as well. I think there's probably parallels between the guys that come back against Man United at Old Trafford, and they lost, and then it was like we made subs. Two of those that were players that had just come back, and it was one of those. He made too many subs. That was the thing. But it may have been that in a high intensity kind of game, that's all they could muster, like 70 minutes or potential breakdown again. Whereas this game was very low key, I would say. When in all honesty, with regards to our effort, we're in so much control. I don't think it was massively taxing on him. So 78 minutes. I think that was a decent run out, and I think it proves himself for certainly going into fitness into the international break and then coming out the other side in the North London derby. So I think that was important to actually get him playing and actually proving himself. But let's hope Ghana don't flog him. I don't know if they've got games. I imagine they must have a game.
They've got Brazil We're playing Brazil and somebody. I don't know who the second
Yeah,
game's
hopefully there's a bit of common sense there, and we
He came back injured last time he went out with them, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, this is it.
Is it true, guys? I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true, but we actually asked Garner not to play him.
Probably.
I
I'd
think
say
we've
so.
asked them to be sensible. Maybe just play him for 90 minutes over 2 games, not 180
All right.
minutes.
Okay.
It's just be careful with him, because at the end of the day, it's in their interest, because they want him in the World Cup. So pushing him too hard might mean they lose him for the World Cup. So
Should have pulled a Fergie stroke, not let him go.
Yeah, those days are gone now. Those days are gone.
Yeah, days are totally gone, aren't they?
Yeah. I think he had the same kind of conversation with Saka, didn't he? About Saka with
yeah, he did. Yeah.
last season, but yeah, again, it falls on deaf ears, doesn't it? Really, end of the day, if they want to play him, they'll play him. But
Paul, friendlies, mate, friendlies. I can understand if you're trying to get somewhere in a competition, right? But a friendly, you don't have to have your best 11 out for a friendly.
No, look, you've got if you're picturing about Southgate, you're looking at, say, like these players that he's trying to test and do. He should have done it when we had those 4 games in a row. And get them playing, and then he'd be able to see, rather than playing the tried and trusted and bringing in all these players, or still selecting Maguire when he's
Maguire's blackmailing. Maguire's got to be blackmailing him, mate. He's got to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it. So yeah, he's kind of reverted to type a little bit. That's England. I'm not worried about England at this minute. I wish we were still playing. I wish we were playing midweek. I wish we were playing like next weekend. I think this international break is ludicrous considering we are going World Cup in under 8 weeks now. So yeah, Ange says I'd like to have seen Eddie get more match time. I think it's going to come through this next period coming after the internationals. So. Yeah, he will get the time, certainly in Europe. But he's doing the business when he's called upon or when he's needed. And as I say, he can only get better. I can imagine. But this is his one opportunity, isn't it? At the end of the day, if he doesn't, then there is a talking point after that within the club. Is it the right decision to make? If he doesn't score the goals that contract he's been given warrants, or Arsenal had hoped, then does that then mean that Arsenal then go to look for that second striker, which they didn't get because they put the trust in Nketiah? So that's the swing, isn't it? I think as for the club then is they put that trust in him, but then if it can either work or it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, then Arsenal then got, how long does it take for Arsenal to say, well, okay, well, working, and we do need a second striker worth a lot of money. I think that's it, isn't it? Would you agree on that?
Paul, what do you think of this? Just quickly, what do you think of this? I've noticed when the subs come on for Arsenal, right, the standards don't drop, the levels don't drop. Yeah, where other seasons they would have done. So like when Eddie came on today, I mean, Jesus stayed on and he got crap. But when Eddie came on today, he's always trying to get there or thereabouts, right? But the thing that's holding Eddie back, right, is the amount of time he's got on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, we saw that last season, didn't we? With when he had that spell last season where he got chucked in, and his best ones were games that were he was being played after game. And he had some form of consistency. But it's one of those where you suddenly think, well, he's going to get game time, but you're not going to always get the best of it. You're trying to change a game or make a difference in a game off with 15 minutes left or 10 minutes left. It's very hard to do. But over a season, I expect that to, certainly when you look at it, you haven't got, say, like a Lacazette and an Aubameyang in front of you to really kind of cloud your development. You've only got one, so in theory there should be more chances there for him. So yeah, let's hope. But yeah, we'll go on to this next question. This is for Liam. Which player has surprised you so far? Alex has asked throughout this season.
I think we already said that Xhaka in a number 8 role. I think it's probably the most surprising of the season. Am I surprised about Saliba? I knew what he had in him. I was quite confident he'll come back and own that centre back partnership with Gabriel. So even though it's good to see, I'm not surprised. And Jesus, I think he's another one who surprised me in terms of what he can actually do. Like, especially in the first couple of games, like you see the runs that he done against Crystal Palace, I think once or twice, and the Bournemouth one that obviously set up the first goal in that game. I think even though I knew he was a good player, I think he surprised me that he's actually a very, very, very good player. Do you know what I mean? And I think once he continues to play more and more games, I think we're going to get more and more goals out of him. So I'm really excited about him. So yeah, I've been surprised at the level that he plays at week in, week out. That's what I'll probably answer.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of talk on Xhaka. Yeah, got a big up for Xhaka from Ange. And Alex has said, John, behave yourself. Is Xhaka a legend? No way. Give Xhaka credit where it's due. And he won't be remembered as a legend. Yeah, that's the moment where John backtracked a little bit and said, yeah, he's probably not going to be a legend. But yeah, he's doing the job. And fans have also got to kind of backtrack and actually really say, because sometimes Arsenal fans find it very hard to sometimes admit they're wrong as well. And yeah, when you do see performances, even when there are good performances, it's still bad, or it's not. Yeah, it's still not good enough. So yeah, he's doing well, and he's probably proven to be one of our better players this season.
Not only that, he's just grown in our hearts. The fans love him now. You know, he's completely reversed the situation. So apart from his plan, you've got to give him 100% credit for that.
Yeah, definitely. And said he's a legend to me. So the band coming. So yeah, so it's that. Yeah, gonna get the get the Xhaka police out there. It's gonna be old in the chat room. Gonna get banned.
Are the celebration police out there, Paul? Have they?
I don't know. I've not heard anything. Any celebrations?
We're not over celebrating here, are we, guys? You know what I mean?
What's Richard Keys got to say? No?
Richard Keys. Oh, yeah, I know. Just jealousy. It's just jealousy. That's all it is.
It's just a load of waffle. You know, celebrating is part of the game. You know what I mean, for Christ's sake.
Arsenal Alex. There's not the Alex, but even in all, where is Alex? Well, Alex is, yeah, you're messaging, you're Alex, but no, the real Alex is just, I think, having a chilled out Sunday evening. So yeah, you've got me on the Sunday show, so hope you're enjoying it. But it's been a good day to talk about Arsenal, isn't it? And Tony is not an Arsenal player. And yeah, have the other geezer. So yeah, Malkovich or Mitrovic, we'll take either of them. Yeah,
Mitch.
Can I bring up something, Paul, that I was talking about in the green room?
Yep.
The training ground. What is going on that training ground? Yeah, you can understand when players get injured during games, right? It's part of it, isn't it? But when you're getting injured on the training ground, right, with your calf injuries and your thigh, are we playing on concrete or something? Yeah. Are they using? You remember them shoes that kids used to have? Them moon boots that had springs in them.
Yeah.
Are they using them as kit? or something. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And I mean, I know the game's moved on in training and everything, but why, if we're training, usually you take an injury from taking a knock, don't you? So does it mean we're training harder? Are we going in harder? You know, someone needs to be going, oi lads, calm it down a bit. Got a game on Saturday. Do you know what I mean?
It's awkward, isn't it? It's one of those. It's certainly the Tomiyasu one was the real frustrating one, and it was also that kind of. It's hard to say as well from last year because we were so caught with our hands stuck behind our back, weren't we? With regards to trying to bring players in at that time when we had the semi-final of the cup against Liverpool. And we were trying to get players back to play when they weren't probably ready, and we were trying to rush them back. But yeah, it is a little bit frustrating, I suppose, more with these kind of like muscle injuries, and you do wonder what potentially has changed or what's causing this to happen. More often than not, it's muscle injuries, but. Yeah, we won't know. We're not savvy to the medical profession. I don't think anyone is anyway. Speak up if anyone knows. But yeah,
first aid certificate. That's about it.
But I bet that's out of date and all.
It probably is. And what I was gonna say is maybe these players years ago they would have got away with playing with these knocks. What they're getting in training, these injuries. Maybe now the risk factors, teams won't play them. You know what I mean? The doctors or whatnot, they get a slight knock and like, no, we're not playing him. 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, they might have risked that player. But you know, it's money. If they get it's on that doctor's head, isn't it? If he risks that guy, he goes out and gets an injury, then he's more likely to get the sack. The player's going to get a long-term injury. So maybe they're just not willing to risk him as much. Although I do feel last season they did risk it a bit too much. So maybe they've stepped back from that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, so Glenwyn on the chat says, coming back for the international break, Spurs will be on the same high as we went in today. Well, yeah, they're in good nick. I don't think we all know that they're in a well, they had their great result in Europe, didn't they? That was pleasing. But yeah, we know it's going to be a tough game, and we know there's going to be a lot riding on it. Me and Liam will be sitting there. I think you'll be there, Liam, won't you?
Yeah, I think they're doing well. But I think even if you look at the Leicester game on Saturday, Leicester could have easily gone 3-2 up at the end of that first half. And there's definitely a lot of areas to exploit Spurs. And if Leicester can do what they were doing, we can certainly do it. And we've got the defence, obviously unlike Leicester at the moment. So even though it was comprehensive in the end from Spurs, and I think Leicester in dire straits, Leicester could have gone 3-2 up at half-time. And I think that would have been an interesting second half. I think Spurs would have still probably turned it around. But I just think there's a lot of areas there that we can exploit them.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, it's gonna be a good game, isn't it? It's gonna be a cracking atmosphere. I can't wait to be in the stadium for that. It's gonna be a game and a half. So hopefully we do the business. The Mr. Arsenal podcast. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mr. Arsenal.
Hello, Mr. Arsenal.
Yeah.
I said that, and then suddenly a dog started barking. It was like,
yeah, it's my dog. Sorry, I didn't want to make a big thing of it, but all right, it was my dog.
Hello, everyone. Yes.
He's a good footballer, my dog. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's fine.
For some reason, he's got this habit. When anybody walks through the front, goes out the front door to go out, he barks. Yeah, if they come in, he couldn't give a toss.
Mr. Boost podcast. I will say Ben White, that's meant to be injured. He did fantastic today. Yeah, no, I think he did stepped up and he was playing well.
that's another thing. Was he injured or did Arteta pull
Mind games. Mind games, guys. Mind games. Isn't it?
Yeah. Did Arteta pull a flanker with that one, you know, getting Whitey to stay at home, not going in the... He was injured, weren't he? All of a sudden he's fit.
Yeah, this one was meant for me, but he put it to you first.
No, okay, yeah. So Richard, when was the last time Arsenal beat top 4 teams? Arsenal are great at beating mid-table teams, but they must beat the likes of Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea.
Well, last season we beat Chelsea and Tottenham, didn't we? At home. Yeah, this season we need to get points off City and Liverpool at home, and I'd like to see us get at least a draw away to Liverpool. I mean, let's be honest, City are going to be champion, win the title this season, but if we can be best of the rest, that's a step up for us, isn't it? As an improvement on last year. I think Thomas Frank said it in his post-match interview that he put us in with in that title mix this season, and I think Arteta when he was asked about Wenger's comments said that the season's long, we 30 more odd games to go, but yes, we want to be challenging for the title. So the ambition's there. It's now about consistency and going to these big teams like Liverpool and City and getting results. But come on, Haaland's on fire at the moment, isn't he?
He's going to get 50 plus goals, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's just a beast.
He is a monster. He's a monster.
I don't care what team he's in. He's scoring goals in any team.
Well, it's what I'm happy with at the moment as well, right? And big up to the Arsenal ladies because they're top of the league. We're top of the league at the same time, so that's a good. Because they beat. Was it Brighton yesterday? 4-0?
4-0. It was a comprehensive win.
You know what I mean? So big up to the ladies. I think. Do you know what? The ladies' game is becoming as popular as the blokes, I think. And I think credit where credit's due. Do you know what I mean? But we've already bettered Brentford from what we did last season when we went to theirs. So that's a positive.
And Palace as well. So,
Palace as well. So that's 2 games.
They're positive straight away, aren't they? They're positive straight away. So if we keep going on this vein, I mean, do you know what, guys? One thing I will say, even though we lost to Man U, right? We have played better football in every single game. Plus, we've got that monkey off our back regarding the Invincibles. Yeah, because everybody, when we won the first load of games, everybody was going, "Oh, it could be an invincible." Well, we're up here. All my Arsenal mates up here were going, "Oh, it could be an invincible season. Could be an invincible season." Well, that's been put to bed. So there's a bit of less pressure. We're going to be there or thereabouts this season.
It's going to be a special season. I can tell something special's happening. I don't know what it is.
Totally.
This is the best squad I've seen come out at the Emirates for a long, long time. It might turn out to be the best squad that's come out.
Yeah, no, it's the atmosphere is buzzing now, and yeah, it's really.
It's good to be a Gooner, isn't it? It's good to be a Gooner. It is. It's really.
It is very positive. We're all on the same page. No one's arguing. You know what I mean? The team's playing well, and long may it continue.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my foot through that.
Right. Right. What is Arsenal's plan B when plan A isn't working?
Des is coming on the pitch, and I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'll play.
In the middle.
I'll play. I don't mind. I like to hear you all moan about when I get red cards. I mean, no, plan B. Let's see, plan B. Well, that is a good question. Was that from Alex?
From Alex, yeah.
Yeah, Alex, that's a good question. I think you've just got to look at our bench at the moment. I mean, not today, but when if everybody's fit, look at the bench, and we've got quality on the bench. We've got competition for every single position now, where we didn't have it before. There were just people walking into the team going, oh, I'll play every week because no one's going to replace me. Tierney today deserves credit the way he played, but he knows if he doesn't play well, Zinchenko. Yeah, and you could go through every single position in the team where Ben White doesn't play, Tomiyasu. Jesus doesn't play, Eddie. Just to pick a random position. So the plan B is looking all right as much as the plan A is looking all right at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I think you look at it and you have there are different options, no matter what however we look at it, and we say we've got players there now that we didn't have, say, like last year, and yeah, you could say about you really need to change it up, but again, you still look at, say, like Liverpool. When you even like you're trying to go for these two teams that we're striving to get near, Man City and Liverpool. Do they really change their style? Do they really change the way they're playing when they're up against it and they try and do it? No, they don't really change anything. They don't need to bring on an Andy Carroll or someone who's 9 foot tall to kind of score goals or lump it into the box or change it. It's still much of the same, but just obviously different players in those kind of positions to get the results or certainly get involved and make things happen. And it's
mentality, Paul. It's all about mentality.
Yeah.
Well, we're
and
getting
quality.
Well, yeah, quality. Having these players that come off the bench who are not, say, like just squad players or what we've had previously, where they're not probably really good enough to take us where we need to get to. And this is where Arteta is trying to get us to. And yeah, we've gone from having 13, 14 players at the end of last season to probably a good 18, 19 squad. Is the squad there? Is it 18 or 19?
Yeah, we've got 22, but you wouldn't say the quality. I'd say the quality's up to 18. And
So
you're probably looking at players like Suarez to improve on. You haven't really got anyone to cover Saka at the moment, have we? And
Marquinhos.
Yeah, but he's still younger than Saka, and he's got to learn the language. It's going to take him time. He's a decent prospect, but he's not.
I think I'm going to disagree with you, Richard. Sorry, mate. But I'm going to Marquinhos can hit the ground running.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'd hope so.
That's what I think, because end of the day, it's good competition for Saka, right? And he knows, from what I've seen of him, and I know it ain't much, what I've seen has impressed me.
Oh, he's impressed me as well. But I still think I think he's an upgrade on Pepe.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because you saw, if he went on the outside and he's left-footed, but if he cut in, he didn't have to go forward into the box and get blocked out. He was putting crosses in with his foot, and they were decent crosses, and he offered variety. So a defender didn't know whether to show him inside or show him down the line.
I must admit as well, though, Rich, you're right? But I'm keeping, and I'll get his name wrong, I'll tell you now straight away, right? I'm keeping an eye on the muddy kid, Mudryk.
Oh, yeah.
I must admit, I am keeping my eye on him because I think he might be coming to us in, when's the next, it's January, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'll be coming to us in January, I think.
I think we'll probably go back into the market in January because we wanted somebody, we wanted that wide forward in the thing, and that only changed because of the injury to El Neni and Partey. So I think we might revisit that.
I must admit, I think Marquinhos is being very undersold. I think he's a better player than what we even might be thinking about him at the moment, and just give him time.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's had
totally
two goals in the under 20. It was 2 goals in the under 21s and the goal against Zurich. So he's doing all right. And it will take him time to settle in and get used to the culture, the language, and stuff. But as soon as he does, I think he'll be a hell of a player.
I wouldn't send him out on loan like what they're talking about.
Well, it depends on what sort of what they've got to consider is how much game time he's going to get after.
I'll tell you what the unique situation is, though. There's a bit of a unique situation here, isn't there, this year with the World Cup? That Arteta gets to spend a lot more time with players like Marquinhos, like during November and December, and surely there's going to be friendlies as well, isn't there, between that time?
True.
Do you know what I mean? And all them players that obviously don't go, and we know the potential that some of the Brazilians won't go because at the moment they're not even in the squad. So if we can if they don't go to the World Cup, and don't get me wrong, I'll be happy for them not to go to the World Cup because there's no risk of them getting injured. He can spend a lot more. He can spend a good month with them guys on the training field.
Strange question. Do you think Jesus will go to the World Cup?
Yes.
Definitely.
You like to think so, wouldn't you?
I think he's looking at the other forwards to see what other options he's got.
Fair enough. It wasn't a try to catch you out. It wasn't a catch you out question.
Yeah, no,
it's just because he hasn't been picked. He hasn't been picked for these friendlies, has he? So
no, I think it's more a case of I know what you can do. I know what you bring to the table. I want to see what other players. I think Gabriel Magalhaes and possibly Martinelli are the ones that have to
earn the spot. The spot, yeah.
I can't see Firmino getting ahead of Jesus by on the World Cup.
No,
surely not.
It'd be good for us if he didn't go, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely, mate. I ain't going to be disappointed if him and Martinelli stay at home.
Yeah,
they will be, but we won't be.
Yeah, exactly.
You had in I don't think Odegaard and Zinchenko are going either, are they? Because
they're out. Yeah.
So and Tierney. So
Smith Rowe won't be going whether he's fit or not by that point. He ain't nowhere near that. Ben White, I can't see getting in there now. I'll be very surprised.
I don't see how Ben White don't get in over the fridge over Maguire. I don't get it.
I don't think it's over Maguire, is it? I think the problem is that Southgate sees him as the right back or possible right centre back, and then if you look at you've got Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold and who's the other one over on that right hand side. I can't remember, but that's hell of a competition on that right back spot. But that pushes him to improve. It means he's not. If it means he doesn't go and we've got him fit after the World Cup, that's all better for us, isn't it? I mean, it's disappointing for him, and it is disappointing on the level that we haven't got more players in the England squad at that time. But if it pushes him to improve so that he makes that spot in his own in the future, all well and good for us.
Well, look, guys, we've hit an hour nearly an hour and a half now of talking Arsenal, and there's nothing better than talking about Arsenal, certainly on days like this. But yeah, we could probably go on for another couple of hours, probably, to be honest, with people's comments and stuff going on. We'd probably need to grab a couple of drinks, but
I think we'll be out of court, mate. Oh, we'll be like you, boy.
Yeah, no, it's all good, but yeah, no, I'd like to thank you, Des, for coming on. First time on the Sunday show, John and Liam.
Thank you very much, lads.
Cheers, I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me, and it's great crowd. Thanks, lads. Thanks.
Yeah, and Richard as well. Thanks for coming along. It's been
invite me again, and
it's been a busy like show. So with all of you here, and there's lots of opinions, and there's lots of questions in the chat as well, which we haven't got to, but another time. But please, subscribe and like the channel, and give us a follow on Twitter, and get involved. But yeah, no, to say this is Canon Fodder TV, and yeah, this was the big Sunday show. Thanks, guys. Kind of Gooners.
Uta be a gooner.